So if you or someone you know or love has been on an antidepressant in the class that we call SSRIs, which include things like Prozac, Zoloft, Paxil, Lexapro, are the brand names. It also includes some that are combinations, SNRIs, like Effexor or Cymbalta. You may decide that at some point you want to get off of them, either because you feel they're unnecessary or because they're causing you effects that you don't appreciate. In another video, I talk about why these medications are awesome and awful at the same time. So if you've decided you want to get off or do something to minimize side effects, one strategy is to add an antidepressant that has different mechanism of action and reduce the amount of SSRI that you're taking. Sometimes you can completely switch over to something like Wellbutrin. Bupropion is the generic name, and it helps offset sexual dysfunction, weight gain, and lower motivation because it is more activating. It can be less helpful with anxiety, although for some people Wellbutrin helps very well with anxiety too. Another medication that could be substituted for an SSRI is a medicine that was developed for seizure disorder. It's called Lamictal or lamotrigine, and it has a calming effect on the brain and an antidepressant effect. I love it because it doesn't cause the emotional blunting or sexual side effect or weight gain. You do have to start it with a very low dose and gradually build up before you taper your SSRI. If you're wanting to get off medication altogether, be aware that you will have to go slowly to avoid the serotonin reuptake withdrawal that you can get when you stop the SSRIs. It can include things like anxiety, insomnia, vivid dreams. It can cause a return of depressive symptoms or headaches, dizziness, fatigue or tiredness, irritability. It can also cause flu-like symptoms, including achy muscles and chills. It can cause nausea. And a lot of people complain of what they call brain zaps. They're like electric shock sensations that you can get when you withdraw from these medicines. Especially the shorter acting ones are prone to give problems quickly. Those would include things like Effexor and Cymbalta. Sometimes it's very helpful to switch to a longer lasting SSRI as you attempt the withdrawal process. My favorite is Prozac because it has the longest half-life. If you take one dose today, a little bit will still be in your system 2 or 3 weeks later. So that's when you can substitute and gradually wean off of. The slower you go, and I typically take several months when weaning someone off of an SSRI, the slower you go, the more your brain has the ability to adapt and to get back to its own production of the chemicals that you need to stay calm and happy. So Prozac generic is effective. It is not as good as the brand name Prozac, but the brand name Prozac is prohibitively expensive for most people in the United States, but can be ordered from out of the country if you so desire. I'm hopeful that in your journey dealing with anxiety and depression, you will also be doing things to help your brain, like exercising regularly and getting good quality sleep, having good connections with other people, having a creative outlet, doing things that inspire you, that create a sense of joy within you. Medications are helpful, but they're certainly not all that you need. If you're someone who has genetic predisposition toward a mood disorder, depression or bipolar disorder or anxiety, you may need to consider staying on some kind of medication. If you have anxiety, a good alternative to the SSRIs is the medication Buspar or Buspirone, which is 2 or 3 times a day, which is a bit of a headache, but it's very effective for anxiety, although it takes time to kick in and is not as potent in its effect as the SSRIs. Nevertheless, the side effect profile, in my opinion, is much better. So those are some ideas for you if you've been on an SSRI and want to minimize the side effects or want to stop completely. Feel free to ask questions in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer them. Please do talk to your physician about your concerns about the SSRIs or other medication that you're taking so that he or she can help you to safely transition from what you're taking now to your new regimen with or without medication. I'm a big fan of the B vitamins. They have a good calming effect and also help with mood. A daily multivitamin is a great idea. And some people find help with things like 5-HTP and melatonin for sleep. For many people, just getting good sleep at night is a great preventive for anxiety and depression. And so sometimes just getting a good strategy for sleep, something like trazodone at night, can be an effective and safe way to keep your sleep on track so that your mood stays up and your anxiety stays down. Hope you find this video helpful. I'll be posting more about issues with regard to depression and medication.